Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of me, Budget Gaming HD. And in today's episode, I will be showing you how to build your very own gaming PC for under £120. Yes, you heard right, under £120, so you don't want to miss that. Guys, welcome back to another episode of me, Budget Gaming HD. And in today's episode, like I've mentioned, I will be showing you how to build your very own gaming PC for under £120. So the total price is actually £119.97. You heard right, £119.97. And it's not really hard to do. You must just look in the right places to find the right deals. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can see, but you probably can. There's the gaming PC. It's only the chassis, not the screen, keyboard, and mouse. So please keep that in mind. That is not included. So let's first start off with your budget. I had a budget of about £100, but it was really hard to do, especially the specs of this PC to get you really good at gaming in 2024. So let's discuss the specs. It's got a 6500 i5. It's got a proprietary Dell motherboard, 16 gigabytes of DDR4, 2133 mega transfers per second. It's got a standard office case, a 500 watt power supply. It's a very cheap power supply. So I cannot stretch enough not to buy these power supplies. This one had a good rating of 4 stars on Amazon. However, still guys, if you're going to buy a power supply, buy something decent. It's only for this project. And if you're going to go down this route, make sure, one, it's a very good supplier with very good reviews so that your return policies are not jeopardized. And number two, you do keep in mind that you run risk of damaging your parts. And number three, you have in mind to replace this power supply ASAP. I installed 2 fans that I salvaged out of 2 old power supplies that I blew up in the previous episode. Not sure if you guys can remember, but yeah, so I used those 2 fans. One of the most important parts is obviously a graphics card, and that is the GTX 970. Yes, a GTX 970. That will really give this PC all it can to run the best games at the best frame rates. I'm going to be honest, I have not agreed upon a price yet with my friend, but I see they go on with Facebook Marketplace for about $45. So if you're going to go this route, look on Facebook Marketplace so you can get one for £45. So just getting back to the specs, the CPU I managed to pick up from eBay for £12.99, the chassis from Amazon for £18.99, the SSD I got from eBay for £9.99, the RAM I got from eBay for £15.99. Yes guys, £15.99, but do mind, it is a 2133 mega transfers per second at 16 gigabytes. It's not the best RAM, it's very standard RAM, but it will get you going in games. 500 watt power supply sitting at £15.99, and it makes me really want to die on the inside for saying that, but I've got no choice. This is the route I had to go for the budget I had to go. So like I've mentioned, that entire cost is around £119.97. That's 119.97. It is a really good price, and you will see in the gaming performance, you can't ask for a better PC. Now, if you want to shave off that price to be under £100, it is possible. You're going to need to dab down on your graphics card. And I managed to make the same rig that you guys see behind me for £80. And the way I did that was with a GTX 760. Freaking fantastic graphics card. It still played all the games that I'm going to show you guys here today. You can just say if the 970 is at 100% or 100 points, then this is at 60 points. You do lose about 40% of your frames on the 760. But also I got this card for £10 on Facebook Marketplace. So keep that in mind. £80 versus £119 depending on your budget. So just a quick recap on the frames per second. In Dota I got about 60 frames per second at ultra graphics. Cuisine Royale got about 50 frames at ultra graphics. Someday Return I got about 20 frames on ultra graphics, but on low I got 60 frames per second, which is not bad. Obviously, as you guys know me by now, I do benchmarks, and I will share the result of the 970 versus the 760 at the end of the video, so you guys can see the benchmarking result, and you can make up your mind, do I want to spend £80 or do I just want to spend £120 and get the proper stuff? And maybe spend another $20 to get a power supply that's something proper. But that's maybe not a bad idea. Maybe get the 760 and then buy something proper, like a 35 to 45 pounds power supply for a 500 watt. You can get like a Corsair or something for that price. So do keep that in mind. I can't stretch it enough. So guys, without further ado, let's jump into the benchmarks. Let's have some fun with games and let's share that result. So the first game I chose is called Chester Into the Light, and the reason I chose this is because it's very graphical intensive. Haha, gotcha! Anyways, moving forward to the game. As you can see, this game is running at no problems between 70 and 80 frames per second. Sadly, I can't show you more of this game as it's completion based. However, you get the idea. The next game is called Someday You'll Return. Now, you guys must know this as I've played it before. And the preset I'm currently putting to medium just to see how it performs. At the moment, we're getting anything between 80 and 90 frames per second, which is very, very good for this graphics card. And obviously my favorite place to be is looking over the cliff and just admiring the view, as we did with the RTX 2060 build. Now I just want to crank up the graphics to ultra and just see what we are getting. It's dabbing down about to 40, but as we move down to the cliff, it runs at 50 to 55 frames per second, no problem. So the next game is called Dota 2. You all know this by now. It's my top played game. I'm a big fan of Dota, and most of my rigs accommodate for this game. If you're a casual gamer at home and you enjoy games like this, then you can see that the PC will handle this game at no problem whatsoever. Just running into their base and making sure that I get the most out of this graphics card and just to test it. So far, it's running not bad at all. We're seeing about 80 to 90 frames per second. The next game on the list is called Cuisine Royale. Now, I've got the jetpack on for the maximum efficiency, and then also I've casted a freaking Dementor. Now this thing really, it chases you around the map until you kill it, and it will not leave you alone unless you get Harry Potter and cast a Patronus spell on it. But otherwise than that, you just have to fight it, shoot it, or just evade it for 60 seconds and then it leaves you alone. But otherwise than that, getting back to the game, it has no problem running on this PC whatsoever. Now this is the benchmark that I've been talking about. I normally run Firestrike, and as you guys can see, don't take these numbers too seriously, as this pushes the PC to the absolute limit. It will push any computer past its limits and give you a result. So the GTX 970 is at 8,474 points versus the 5,353 points of the 760. Now that is about a 40% give or take difference between the two cards. So that's a wrap for this episode, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. And if you like my content, please remember to like and subscribe and hit my ding dong to stay up to date with my latest content. And I shall see you in the next one.